You have the coaching, you have the mentoring, you have like the best commission structure in really like our industry, the final expense. So it builds you a really, 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 really nice future if you stick with it and you're consistent. So yeah, if you're not happy with something that's going on and you're like me or you're like Dave or any of the other people that are here and you like beautiful things and you want a financially free life, take a little bit of a closer look.
My name is David. I'll be hosting this week's episode of Ordinary People Doing Extraordinary Things, and I have the honor and privilege to introduce and interview Ms. Danielle. How you doing, Danielle?
I'm awesome. Thank you. How are you?
I'm great. I'm doing great. So, man, it's definitely great to have you on camera. Always fun to have you on video and questions. And you know, the first thing I really want to talk about is, you know, the beginning. Like, how did you, how long ago did you get started with it?
I started in, and I always go back and forth, you may know better than I do. I believe that it was in August. Maybe the last couple days in July. August was my first full month.
Yeah, I would count the first full month as when you start, right? Everything else is kind of like, you fell out of an airplane, you got to get yourself together, you know, you didn't really start found all your bad. So what is it that really interests you when working with us? Like, how did that whole process go?
Well, I don't know if I would call it a process. It was more of you leaving like a trail of breadcrumbs for me almost. So I come from the fitness industry. I owned a CrossFit in New Jersey. I had that for a long time. Once I sold that, I got back into the beauty industry. I had a lash studio in my home, and then I missed fitness so much. I started nutrition coaching, moved to Florida, kept going with that. It was amazing. And I remember specifically before I moved to Florida, you had reached out to me through Facebook. I think you were going to be in town visiting like Michelle and Jimmy and whoever else. You were like, yeah, you know, like life insurance. I was like, that's cool. Awesome, Dave. Like total switch, right? So, you know, that kind of like kept happening. So I moved to Florida and I see you, you know, like doing your thing. And then you would just randomly send me instant messages with screenshots of your bank account, like deposits into your bank account. I was like, all right, that's cool. Like, yeah, you're making some pretty good money. That's awesome. And then I remember specifically one day you said like, yeah, but there's residual too. It's like, great, I'm so happy for you, right? Thinking to myself, like, that's not something that I could or would or ever really want to do, right? So continuing, and then another day sticks out very clearly in my mind. I was sitting in my apartment in Fort Lauderdale, eating my ice cream, like I always do every night, and you messaged me. You're like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, great. You're like, hey, check this out. And all your deposits for the day totaled like $4,000. I was like, well, that's great. I made that today too. You're like, yeah, but I make that every day. I'm like, oh, okay. Right. So that was the last time you sent me screenshots of that. And then I moved to West Palm. I was doing great with my coaching business. You know, I was making over $10,000 each month. I think my highest month was like $17,000, which was great. I was working 4 hours a week, time freedom, like all the things. And then my adult mind was like, okay, Danielle, retirement. Your husband has a 401k. Yeah, you have like an IRA, like some other types of things, but really like, what are you going to do? I don't like to ask anybody for money. Don't want to ask permission. I like to spend money a lot. So you popped into my mind. I'm like, I wonder if what Dave is making, like, how does that work for retirement? Like, what specifically is that residual? And I wanted to find out more. So I think really like that next minute I picked up the phone and I had messaged you, and you set it up that you were going to stop by for coffee like the next week. And then you came over and that was kind of like it.
So I definitely, there's so much smoke and mirrors on Facebook and social media and stuff, right? So I definitely want to always stand out from all that. And sometimes it's hard, so I have to get real direct and to the point, just show the clear-cut deposits. And you can't really argue with that, right? When you screenshot your little Chase app and show what you and it's cool. I could usually get a whole week's pay in one screenshot, daily pay. That's always the goal. So, you talk a little bit about like where we got to the coffee. I definitely remember coming out and seeing, and you've been a rock star. You've been a rock star with your own gym. You've been a rock star in network marketing. I believe you were the #1 recruiter 1 month when you worked with network marketing. Like you said, you do these high ticket coaching. I mean, you're a rock star. So, for me, I want rock stars on my team, right? And I had to think about how I was going to get a line, how I was going to capture a line basically. And, I think for you, like I knew you were interested in retirement and you're interested in building businesses. So my whole idea was how was I going to attract Danielle, who's doing all this fun and exciting stuff, to something that people look at as if it's boring, like the insurance is boring. Not one bit at all. How to attract you? Remember when we had coffee? Do you remember what it is that made you say, okay, I can do this?
Absolutely. So, when I asked you like how it worked, like writing a policy for somebody, and you had your iPad, and you just kind of flipped it around. You said, "Here, answer these questions." So I did, and then you took it back. You're like, okay, which one of these would you select? So I picked one, and then I filled out the rest of the application. We got to the end of it, and you were like, okay, so if you just did that for somebody, you would have made $600. I was like, well, that's pretty cool. I'm like, but now tell me about like building a team, because that's what you're doing. Like coaching is my blood. Like coaching is what, I'm made for. It's what I've done really like forever. So when you told me how that worked, like, oh, I've been building a team and, this is like a little bit of the background. I said, okay, well, that sounds great, right? I can learn how to teach someone to use an iPad, right? And write an application and make money. Easy. Okay, well, what did you make, last month? You're like, 41,000. And just like that, I'm like, oh, okay, so how do I get my license? I do what kind of course? Pre-licensing? How do I do that?
Got me blushing over here. I love the honesty for Facebook Live. Those are private conversations, Danielle.
And that's probably like verbatim. Like, yeah, I remember it clear as day.
But yeah, it's money's great, but the things that you can do with it is definitely very enjoyable. So we talk about what attracted you, which is great, right? We talked about how we got you in the boat, how we got you on the money train. So let's walk through this whole journey together, man. I'm really enjoying this. So now it's time to move forward. So what was the next step once you made the decision? Explain that a little bit to the people watching.
Wait, repeat the last part of that question. You cut out a little bit. Sorry.
No problem. So maybe we could go over, what the next step was once you decided that this is what you wanted to do. Did you have to go to college for 4 years? Did you have to run a marathon? Did you have to qualify? What was the process, and was it what you imagined? Was it easier? know, maybe a little bit for the people that are wondering, how do they get started?
Yeah. So the pre-licensing course that I did, so that's, you know, your first step in getting your license. And now let me just say this to kind of like set this up. So anything I've ever done, right, I've had to, it was a lengthy process, right? My cosmetology license, I was in school for that for 2 years to get that. My CrossFit gym, right? All the certifications that I did, I have like thousands of hours into those. Same thing with lashes, right? So when I was like insurance license, like I got to get a license for something. How much time is this going to take? How much money? So I'm in Florida, and Florida, of course, is exceptional. And we have a 40-hour course, right? Which everywhere else is pretty much 20 hours. But regardless, 40 hours, and it was $39. So I did it in 7 business days, a Monday through Friday, and then Monday, Tuesday the following week. And I just devoted, you know, a specific amount of time to it each day, got through a chapter or 2. Took the test at the end, and then, like, honestly, the hardest part was waiting for my license after I passed my test. Just sitting on a tack, waiting for it.
So you talk about a 40-hour insurance course that took you a week to do insurance license that you can make unlimited amount of money with.
Yep. Doesn't make sense.
That's what's great about this industry. It really makes no sense at all. But when it doesn't make sense in a good way, it's definitely a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so now you got your license, right? And what's it like? I mean, again, this is a really industry. And I know, Danielle, right, we all watch you on Facebook. And you love your time, you love your animals, you love eating, you love working out, you love that lifestyle. You know, how has this been? You know, learning a brand new business and how's that?
So learning a brand new business, of course, there's a learning curve, right, with anything. And honestly, really like the total opposite of what I've been doing, right? Teaching people how to eat to now like life insurance, okay? So my animals, I still take care of my animals every day. I still work out every day. I still eat the foods that I want every day. So really, I think the biggest change is really just like being laser focused on learning what I'm doing and trying to like hone those skills. And then helping like new people that come on do the same thing. Right. So I feel like I saw a lot of success right off the bat. So to be able to teach other people that, right? So again, coaching is in my blood. Like if I can do something really well, I can absolutely 127% show somebody else how to do it the same, if not better. So I think that's a lot of, you know, what I've been focusing on. Okay, what did I do and how do I teach somebody how to do it better?
You've been doing an amazing job. You've been bringing on a lot of new agents. Great job leading them. And you know, the beautiful thing is, like, I'm pretty sure every agent you have, the work that you do is from home. Sit there, and I mean, what is that like? You know, just making money from home with your iPad.
For me?
Yeah. How do you like that? Is that boring?
No. No. And I'll tell you what, it's honestly, so like I love nutrition coaching, and I did like all of my coaching Zoom, right? So I could see people face to face. This is so much more interesting because of all the different people that I get to talk to every day, whether it's, you know, somebody that I am helping, you know, get into a life insurance policy, or if it's, you know, a potential agent that I'm interviewing or a current agent. It's not boring at all, ever. Ever. And to be able to make, you know, a really great income doing it makes it even more enjoyable.
that's my whole thing. I mean, I'm definitely having the time of my life. Nothing boring about my life whatsoever. So you've been with, I believe you've been with us long enough to, kind of hear about different companies that out there. What is that, stands out for you for being with the price group that you really liked, where you felt like you found the right home?
Do I feel like I found the right home?
Is there anything that stands out? There's 1,000 different opportunities with insurance out there, and I see people on Facebook all day long talking about insurance and selling insurance. And I mean, I even got people in my inbox trying to hire me. I asked them if they actually looked at my Facebook profile or my Instagram profile before they decided to try to hire me. But is there anything that stands out that why see the life in the price?
That's a good question. So why Senior Life and why the price group? So number one, I would have not ever gotten into insurance if it wasn't for you and me seeing what you've done. And then, once I realized that there were many other people that I know here from like when I grew up, like Doug, Dana, I was like, oh, okay, awesome. Like, just look at this. And then getting to know the culture, of course, seems amazing, but really I think what like makes me confident in knowing that I am in the right place is when I talk to other people that are also in the industry and they tell me the companies that they work for and how it is, like what their experience is, whether it's with the leads or the people they work with, their commission, like what they make, just the whole experience. I'm just like, oh, I would not like that. And no wonder why you're not happy there. So, I mean, the way that I see it, and again, I haven't experienced personally another company, but we kind of have like everything that you need to be successful.
Yeah, I definitely feel like, I definitely interview a lot of agents from other companies. Daily basis. And I don't think anyone has the package that we have. It's a currency business. It's like a franchise opportunity without a franchise.
Absolutely. A lot less money.
Yeah, that was my favorite part about it. So there's a lot of people on here. We have about 1,500 years. And is there anything you want to share with someone? I mean, obviously, if they're watching, they're interested, right? So, is there anything that you want to share with somebody that may be on the fence watching? Is there anything in particular that you want to say to them?
Yeah. So if this is something that you've not ever considered doing because maybe you were in my shoes, like life insurance, I would never do that. I would encourage you to take a second look and really just think about, where you are, what you're currently doing. Are you happy in your situation, right? And that means all of it, like your situation, the job that you're doing now, where you're working from, the money that you're making, what it's going to bring you or give you in your future. And if you answer no, that you're not happy to any of that, even one thing, right? Especially your future, why would you not consider something like this, an opportunity that does give you all of the tools? You have all of the training, you have leads, right? That was one of the biggest things that I needed in any of my businesses. I needed people to sell to, right? Members for my gym, lashes to do, hair to do, people to coach. So you have leads, you have the coaching, you have the mentoring, you have like the best commission structure in really like our industry, the final expense. So it builds you a really, 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 really nice future if you stick with it and you're consistent. So yeah, if you're not happy with something that's going on and you're like me or you're like Dave or any of the other people that are here and you like beautiful things and you want a financially free life, take a little bit of a closer look.
You said if you're not happy, you're not a tree.
Yes, you're not a tree. Move.
So let's talk about goals. Let's talk about the future. What are we going to do in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years coming from you? What are we going to be doing? I know you're going to show us the whole journey on social media. So give us a little preview for trailer.
It's funny that you ask like that many years into the future, because I've not ever been like a person, hey, in 5 years, 10 years, I'm going to do this. I'm always like, okay, right now, couple months, this will do this, and I'll be here in a year, right? So like my next goal that is set is to open a call center in West Palm Beach here. Well, actually, I'm lying, so a little bit further, and then one in New Jersey, right? Because my family's in New Jersey. I want to be there all the time. So, I mean, really, I'm looking to, get past you in the next couple of years.
I love it. I love it. I mean, I'm more than willing to help you. So if you're in the West Palm area or New Jersey, Danielle is looking to build a call center. And talk to me like, hey, when are you going to put a call center in my area? That's when the leader shows up in the area, I help build a call center around. Right? I've done it in Florida, and done that in Louisiana. I don't care, where the person is located, right? Find somebody that wants to learn how to sell on the phone, and other people that sell on the phone, that's the time to start putting things down.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked a little about your journey getting started, about your goals. What is it that gets you going every single day? I mean, you're self-employed, right? You work for yourself when you want to work, right? But you happen to go to work every single day without anyone telling you. So what is it that drives you on a daily basis? Going to work, trying to build something.
So 2 things, right? The first one is being able to help people. So what I've found in every time I've stepped away from like the fitness or nutrition industry, I didn't have that connection with other people to where I was leading them. I was showing them how to do X, Y, Z, accomplish whatever goals, right? So if I go a day now, like first I get up in the morning because I know I'm getting up to help people, right? I'm helping them with life insurance, or I'm helping them learn how to sell life insurance, how to help other people, how to have success, how to make money, right? And another thing that I kind of had an epiphany about over the past couple weeks was when I decided to stop coaching nutrition and just devote all of my energy to senior life and doing this, towards the end of that chapter, like I really tried to start shifting into mindset, right, with my nutrition coaching, because it's huge. It's really your mindset dictates your current reality, your future, everything. So now I know that with this, it's the same thing. So I want to help people change their mindset so that they can accomplish the goals that they want. So that's like my main driver, is because I really wanted to do that with a little bit of nutrition if they wanted it, and I didn't. And now I see that I can absolutely do this here. So that's my number one. And then number 2 is I know that if I do that, I'm going to be able to build the agency that I want, which is going to be able to provide me the future that I want. So it's all, it's all tied in, and it just starts with helping people.
Yeah, I always say the greater your ability to help people, the greater your income is.
Absolutely.
Are related. As you increase your ability to help people, your income will also increase. Elon Musk trying to save our world and get us to Mars. That's like the richest man in the world right now, right? That's hoping on a grand scale. So we're right about that 30-minute mark where I like to end things. I just want to ask more questions. The question I had is, what's been your favorite part?
Ooh, that's a really good question. What's been my favorite part?
Man, Danielle quiet.
I think my favorite part, honestly, my favorite part is when I see people that I've helped like come on board and like go through the training, writing policies for people. And I call them and I'm like, how do you feel? And they're like, oh my God, that's so awesome! And they freak out. And that, like, it's not even about the money that they made. It's because the person that they helped was so grateful to them. And a lot of people have not experienced that gratitude before. Right? And then they realize, like, oh, damn, well, I just made a lot of money too. That was awesome. And they're just so excited. And then just seeing them post, that's my favorite part.
Yeah, I definitely miss being out in the field and just having clients, come up to me and hug me and say, thank you so much for helping me with this. I've been wanting to take care of this. I've been procrastinating. Definitely miss that. But helping those agents. I like seeing their pay stubs. The kind of money in the day. But yeah, I really appreciate you coming here, giving me your Wednesday evening. And you're amazing as always. I look forward to seeing your accomplished. We're gonna have that call center sooner than you think, and I could see a bunch of jack girls in there.
Yeah.
There's people on Facebook Live. They say you're ripped. Definitely a lot of hard work in this work. Definitely the work. So again, thank you very much, everyone on Facebook that always supports us, comments, messages. Definitely appreciate you. They say when you get to a certain level, you have some haters, and I definitely just have all supportive people in my corner. Really, I got rid of them earlier in my life. I don't know. So everybody shares our stuff, comments, likes. I really you have no idea whose life we can change by just sharing a lot of people go from broke to the opposite of broke, right? Again, thanks again. My name is David. This is episode 4 of OPDET People doing extraordinary things. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thanks, Dave.